And has lost his life following a fight on Shreveport City streets. NBC6 News has exclusively obtained video of what led up to that incident and who initiated the confrontation. Good evening and thanks for being with us tonight. I'm Dan Jovic. Shreveport police say their investigation into an assault outside of a nightclub is now a investigation. It is our top story tonight. The surveillance video obtained exclusively by NBC6 News shows what unfolded on a public sidewalk on Sunday, January 26th, just after 5:30 in the morning. The video shows 25-year-old Trevor Moses apparently getting into an argument with several women. 43-year-old Christopher Temple, who is wearing the white baseball hat, steps in and directs the women away from that argument. The group then walks on North Spring Street towards Travis Street. That's when the video shows Christopher Temple punching Trevor Moses as Moses is talking to another man. According to police, the men continued to fight for several minutes until Moses hit Temple in the face and Temple hit his head on the concrete on Commerce Street. He was taken to the hospital, underwent surgery, and was sent to Carpenter's House Hospice, where he on February 15th. Moses has been arrested for second-degree battery. Police are working with the district attorney's office to see if more charges will be filed.
All right. Peace and blessings, ladies and gentlemen. Peace and blessings. All praises to the Most High. Most of all prayers going out to our young brother, Trevor Moses, who, as you see from that video, was the clear-cut victim of an attack by 43-year-old Christopher Temple, who unfortunately lost his life in the attack that he started. Now, this happened January the 26th down in Shreveport, Louisiana. Mind you, articles are just surfacing about this about 3 days ago. And so they have kept this under wraps, probably because what they are trying to do to my dear brother down there in Shreveport. Now, he has been charged with second-degree battery, which actually carries a sentence of 15 years in prison. And as you heard from the article, they said the police are working with the district attorney to see if any other charges are warranted. And that is the issue with this entire case. I'm going to show you two other videos of how they are trying to switch the narrative. In this video, you heard them talk about the two fought for several minutes, continued to fight for several minutes when Moses hit the older gentleman. The gentleman fell, bust his head open, whatever the case may be. Then he succumbed to his injuries. Now, listen to the narrative of this next news article and how they tried to paint a very different picture. Also, you'll find articles saying suspect in fatal beating arrested, right? Trevor Moses is the suspect in the fatal beating. It makes it seem like he just got out and went to wailing on this man, when you can clearly see in the video. And I'm going to play another video which kind of breaks down step by step, so I'll go over that as well. But the narrative that they're putting out is that this 25-year-old black man just fatally beat this guy for no reason, when we've seen that not to be the case. But look, check this next video out and see how they try to once again paint an entirely different narrative than what we all can see with our two eyes. Here we go.
Series of two fights between the same men in downtown Shreveport reportedly led of one Webster Parish man, and KSLA News 12's Donna Kia watched the footage of one of those fights with Shreveport police and spoke to them as the investigation continues. Donna, what can you tell us?
Ashley, these incidents occurred in late January and was reportedly between 43-year-old Christopher Temple and 25-year-old Trevor Moses. In the aftermath of the two altercations, Temple ultimately on February 15th, according to the coroner. Moses was charged and arrested on second-degree battery and is out on bond. According to Shreveport police, on January 26, Christopher Temple and Trevor Moses got into a fight near the Sandbar on Spring Street in downtown Shreveport. KSLA watched a video with police of that altercation where they say it appears Temple hit Moses. Police say in the moments following that at 400 Commerce Street, the conflict continued where Moses reportedly attacked Temple, ultimately leading to Temple.
We're very aware of what the public is saying. Obviously, this is a complicated matter. You have an incident that occurs in which this man is obviously the victim. He's struck first, and then he returns later, and another incident ensues, ultimately resulting in the death of that individual.
Earlier this month, Moses was charged with second-degree battery. He has since bonded out.
And at this point in time, he has not been charged with the individual because we understand there's moving parts. So we're communicating with the Caddo Parish District Attorney's Office to determine if any charges should be upgraded, what they should be. And it's really just an unfortunate situation.
After Temple was pronounced, KSLA spoke with one of his close friends. She spoke highly on Temple's character and said what people are posting on social media is not helping the grieving family.
Let's let this unfold and let's stop mocking, if anything, so that the family can grieve, friends can grieve in ways that are healthy, because honestly, all of this is doing is leading to more violence online.
She also said there's two sides to every story.
From here, I hope that maybe we can all just let the justice system take care of it from here.
Shreveport police say they feel for all the families involved.
We really want to speak to our community to ensure that people make good decisions. Don't put themselves in situations that can ultimately end in some type of tragedy like this.
Shreveport police say they ultimately see incidents like this every year and spoke to the importance of solving conflicts peacefully.
All right. So there you see a totally different narrative than the first story that we saw with our own two eyes. Here, they start off with, there was a series of fights, two separate fights, and these incidents occurred minutes apart. Well, the first story said, no, they were just fighting. They fought for several minutes until my man Trevor put the hands on Christopher Temple, and he fell down. Now, again, he lost his life on February the 15th. That is almost 3 weeks after the incident happened. Now we're just hearing about this story. And then, them watching the film, they even said, well, it appears that Temple hit him first. No, he hit him first. And let's not say appears. And then they said, well, later on, Moses attacked Temple. You see how they're trying to frame a very different narrative. Now, the officer said, well, it's complicated because, it's clear that, Moses was the victim. Then he returns later and, attacks this guy. But no other article is saying that. I'm going to play one more article, but then we're going to break down the series of events that led up to this. And then you said, the police officer is saying, well, at this time, there's no new charges. The fact that they're showing this guy Temple's friends saying, he was this such and such a guy, he was this such and such a guy, and there are two sides to every story, and everything that people are posting online isn't true and making it hard for the grieving families, right? Was he thinking about his grieving family when he attacked that young black man unprovoked? What if the tables were turned and that hit that he hit young Trevor with made him fall on the ground and bust his head wide open? Would you be saying the same thing about how upstanding and great of guy Trevor was? I mean, not Trevor, but how upstanding and great a guy Christopher Temple was? And what if the roles were reversed? What if Christopher Temple, what if, my brother, Trevor Moses, hit him first? And then, Trevor Moses, unfortunately, passed away. Would y'all be saying, well, yeah, we got to look at everything, or, he was a good guy, and, it's obvious that, Mr. Temple was the victim, so he had to defend himself. That's what y'all will be saying. Trevor Moses' record would have been brought up, when he got in trouble for writing on the board behind the teacher's back in grade school would have been brought up. All of these things would have been brought up if this was the other way around. We don't hear nothing about Christopher Temple's background, his problems with the law, his problems with substance abuse, his propensity for violence, for hitting people while they not even talking to him. And so we have to be careful in this situation and not let the media taint. And I know we're not, because we see this for what it is, that the young brother clearly defended himself, and unfortunately the 43-year-old man basically should have kept his hands to himself. Now let's analyze what really happened through this video, this other video, which once again does not mention two separate incidents. It mentions the dude put his hands on him, and you can actually see him getting the best of my man Trevor. Like, Trevor was caught off guard. He stumbled, and the white man kept punching him until Trevor got his bearings. Like, hold up, my brother. You know what I'm saying? You want this smoke? All right, I'm gonna give it to you. And when he gave him, Temple becomes the victim. But just watch this next clip, and we're gonna stop it here and there.
Man has lost his life following a fight on Shreveport city streets. NBC 6 News has exclusively obtained video of what led up to that incident and who initiated the confrontation.
Now there you see they're talking about he's in an argument with some women. You see he's there talking to some white girls. They're putting their hands in his face. I don't know if he was trying to holler at them or whatever the case may be, but I always warn my brothers, when you're out there in the streets, you got to be careful, when you messing, with them, with them white girls. Just say it, like with the white girls. But let's continue.
Good evening, and thanks for being with us tonight. I'm Dan Jovic. Shreveport police say their investigation into an assault.
And there you go. You see my man with the white hat. That's the dude who ultimately passed. But you also see Trevor talking to the dude in the yellow hat. They're calm, cool, and collective, right?
Assault outside of a nightclub is now a investigation. It is our top story tonight. The surveillance video obtained exclusively by NBC 6 News.
There you go. They're still putting his hands in his face. And once again, Trevor, he's remaining calm.
News shows what unfolded on a public sidewalk on Sunday, January 26th.
And you can clearly see the white girl talking junk to him. So he walks over, right? But he's not touching on the girls. He's not pulling on the girls. He's not even in an aggressive manner, right?
6th, just after 5:30 in the morning. The video shows 25-year-old Trevor Moses apparently getting into an argument with several women. 43-year-old Christopher Temple, who is wearing the white baseball.
Now he stopped talking to the dude in the yellow hat, chilling, right? No confrontation, no danger. Nobody's in fear for their life.
Hat steps in and directs the women away from that argument. The group then walks.
Now, if you see, he was just recording. The dude in the white hat was just recording. So he's recording, saying, okay, well, this is what probably they're doing out here. So just so y'all know, this is why I'm about to hit him right here. And you're going to see it right blatantly as day. The man snuck him, which is a punk move in itself.
On North Spring Street towards Travis Street. That's when the video shows Christopher Temple.
Now you see that man almost drop, and that dude is hopping on him. He is attacking him ferociously.
Punching Trevor Moses as Moses is talking to another man. According to police, the men continued to fight for several minutes until Moses hit Temple in the face and Temple hit his head on the concrete on Commerce Street. He was taken to the hospital, underwent surgery, and was sent to Carpenter's House Hospice, where he died on February 15th. Moses has been arrested for second-degree battery. Police are working with the district attorney's office to see if more charges would be filed.
And you see Moses' demeanor during that whole debacle. He's just chilling. He's actually sometimes smiling like, yo, I don't know why these two girls tripping. You know what I'm saying? I just asked for their number. Whatever the case may be, whatever the argument was about, my man wasn't violent. He wasn't threatening. He wasn't doing anything to make that white man just attack him like that. And so the fact that even that video said they continued to fight for several minutes. He didn't say they stopped and then Moses went back and attacked him. He said they continued to fight until Moses caught him with a roundhouse and laid him out. And if Temple would have initially kept his hands to himself, nobody's grieving. None of his family is grieving. So let's start right there. Right? So let's check out this last article. This last article kind of tries to play the fence. Well, we don't know. It's kind of a tough situation. We have to deal with intent and negligence. All of those quote unquote buzzwords that, okay, well, we can still charge him with something, because the man who started the fight, who unprovokingly struck this man. Yeah, we still got to, we got to do something to this black guy, right? Watch this video and y'all tell me what y'all think.
The assault we first told you about yesterday, an exclusive video seen only on NBC6. Shreveport police are working with the district attorney's office on the complicated case. NBC6's Miriam Samake joins us in studio, sharing the latest in tonight's top story. Miriam?
Well, hi, Jackie. Back in January, an argument turned fatal after two men got into a fight outside of a nightclub. Shreveport Police Department says in these cases, agencies look at justification and reasonableness. The Shreveport Police Department is working with the Caddo Parish District Attorney's Office on an investigation into a fatal beating.
Unfortunately, that situation was made worse by two individuals, both of which having made poor decisions. And Shreveport Police Department is doing everything it can to try to come in and clean up the mess. Surveillance
video from January 26th showed 25-year-old Trevor Moses and 43-year-old Christopher Temple. Temple punches Moses first, then, according to SPD, the fight continued until Moses hit Temple in the face, who then hit his head on the concrete. Temple later died on February 15th due to injuries.
Was the intention in that case, and sometimes we have instances where we refer to as negligent injuries. So if there was no intent but an injury still resulted, that person could face some charges due to some type of negligence on their part.
Moses has been arrested for second-degree battery. SPD says these cases use the principle of the 1989 Supreme Court case, Graham versus Connor. Was the use of force justified, and was the force reasonable?
And that's ultimately what the district attorney's office will do, is go on past rulings. And that's where the jury of our peers comes into play. That's why many times we take cases like that before a grand jury or to trial, so that we can determine ultimately, was this person guilty or was what they did justifiable?
And SPD says they will work with the DA's office to hold people accountable and seek justice. Again, Corporal Bordelon says this is complicated with families in mourning. Jackie.
Thank you very much, Mary.
So there you have the same police officer talking about, once again, it's complicated. We have two individuals who made very poor decisions. No, one individual made a poor decision by hitting that young black man whom he thought he was going to knock out, but the young black man had some stamina, as you can see in that article as well. The fight continued. There were no two separate fights, as that other article tried to imply. The fight continued until that guy got dropped. Let's bang. My man dropped him. He banged his head and succumbed to his injuries. Now, once again, I'm not, happy that happened to that man. But, once again, as the Bible says, that a man soweth, so shall he reap. And you hear the officer talking about, well, intent. Even if it didn't intent, there's some negligence there. So, he could be charged with negligence, whether the force was justified and how much force was it, justifiable. He is not negligent for defending himself. What is he supposed to do? Just let the white man continue to hit him until he's the one laying on the ground with a cracked skull? Y'all make it make sense. What force is justified? He used just enough force to back that man off of him. Once again, I always point to what happened to the stand your ground law. Now, this one, he didn't even pull out the ratchet, the pole, the hammer, the stick, the switch. he just pulled out the Hands of Stone. Ronnie Garvin, if y'all used to watch wrestling, I don't know how many people watched wrestling back then, but the Hands of Stone, Ronnie Garvin, he hit you with the hand and you was out. But what can this man be charged with but defending himself? And there are no other article is trying to isolate it. That's why I think that they waited 22 days to release these videos, because you see they're talking about there are 2 videos of both fights. Where's the other video of the fight with the man, as the police officer said, Mr. Moses just attacking Temple, right? There is no video. There was a fight. My man got the worst of it, and he succumbed to injuries from a fight that he unjustly started. And so I want everybody, to call down. If y'all in the Shreveport, Louisiana, make sure y'all chime in down there. Y'all call the DAs, call the police, reach out to the family, however that you got. But make sure that Mr. Moses doesn't get railroaded in this case, because there is no reason that he should be charged with anything. He defended himself. That man was not threatening the white man. He wasn't threatening the white girls. But there's again that theory of the big black bad buck who's going to, ravage and pillage the white community of their pure white sisterhood, whatever the case may be. Why did that man hit him like that? That man wasn't a threat. He was clearly having a calm, civil discussion with another white man. He won't tripping. The girls is probably drunk. Mind you, it's 5:40 a.m. You know what time of them people ain't been home all night. All types of drinks and D-rugs are probably in their system. And so those type of things happen like that. But, the fact that they are trying to equate his defending himself on the same level of Christopher Temple starting the fight is something that you got to watch for in the slant for justice. Just look this up and look at some of the names of the articles that you will see. Just look it up. Matter of fact, let's look at some. Yes, right? Ensuring justice is key. Fatal beating outside of Shreveport, right? Suspect arrested in connection to fatal beating outside Louisiana nightclub. Now, this one is probably more favorable to Moses. It says Trevor Moses, injustice and black men defending themselves, right? And so all of these articles are unfavorable to the young man. It doesn't say that he was attacked and defending himself, and unfortunately, the man who attacked him got the worst end of the stick after he put his hands on somebody. They tell you in kindergarten, keep your hands, feet, and all other objects to yourself. And if Mr. Temple would have did that, then I wouldn't be making this video today. And his family and friends would not be grieving and mourning while they're, asking people to stop posting about it on the internet when this man started the fight. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. 919-587-7782. Peace and blessings.